Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Let's jump right in.
Today, we're taking a look at Benares Hotels Ltd, a publicly traded company in India. We've got their recent financial disclosures here,
Sounds promising.
and it is. Let me tell you, these financials, they
Paint quite a picture.
they do. They really do. First of all, their income from operations for the last quarter is pretty remarkable. 3,886.5 lakh rupees.
Whoa, hold on. So for those of us not familiar with lakhs.
Oh, right. Sorry. A lakh is 100,000 rupees.
Okay, got it.
So that's like over 38 million rupees.
Wow. That's a huge jump from their numbers last year.
It is. For the same quarter last year, it was only about 13 million.
Okay, yeah, that's some serious growth.
It is.
That's
Especially considering, how the global economy's been,
Yeah.
not doing so hot.
Right, tons of industries are facing some serious headwinds.
Exactly. So for Benares Hotels to be pulling this off,
Yeah.
during this time, it's impressive.
Absolutely. So what's driving this? I mean, income from operations is essentially their revenue from their hotel operations. So something's going really well for them.
Right.
So what can we attribute this to?
Well, it's probably a few different factors, right?
Probably.
Maybe tourism to Varanasi has just gone way up. Maybe they've launched some really successful marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
Or maybe they've entered some strategic partnerships that are really paying off.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, the report itself, it doesn't really go into super specific detail.
Okay.
But this level of growth, it definitely makes you want to look a little deeper, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, something big's happening over there for sure.
And speaking of things that might be big, Benares Hotels, they just appointed a new independent director,
Okay.
Miss Nita Balani.
Now, this is where things start to get really interesting.
I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
So she's got an incredibly impressive resume, over 35 years of experience. She's been a board director, entrepreneur, and a recognized expert in HR.
Okay.
And she's actually won some awards, too.
No.
In 2017, she won Most Influential HR Leader.
Wow.
And back in 2008, she won Woman Superachiever.
Okay, so she's been recognized for her achievements and her work.
Yes.
What particularly stands out to me, though, is that she also has this background as a CEO and CXO coach.
Okay.
Combined with her board experience, that suggests to me that she's really deeply involved in strategic planning.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And leadership development.
Absolutely.
At a very high level.
And that's got to be absolutely crucial for Benares Hotels, right?
Yeah.
I mean, independent directors like Miss Balani, they play this really important role in corporate governance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They provide objective oversight,
Yeah.
and they make sure that any decisions made, they benefit all the stakeholders.
And all the stakeholders, so not just the shareholders or the executives.
Right. It's about balancing everyone's interests.
Right. Employees, customers, the community, the whole nine yards.
Exactly.
So it's about accountability. It's about bringing a fresh perspective.
It is, and challenging assumptions and helping to mitigate risk.
Mm-hmm.
I think Miss Balani's expertise in HR and coaching, those could be especially valuable to Benares Hotels.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, it could be an indication that they're going to be putting a lot of focus on talent development, and creating a really thriving work culture.
Which, that could be a really powerful driver of future growth, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got this incredible financial performance.
Right.
Coupled with the appointment of this highly strategic and experienced person to the board.
Yeah. It seems like they're setting the stage for something big.
It does, doesn't it?
Makes you wonder, what's their grand plan?
Yeah, it really does feel like we're piecing together some kind of puzzle here. We've got these impressive numbers and then this strategic board appointment. Makes you wonder, what are they building towards?
Yeah, well, the report itself doesn't, explicitly lay out all their future plans, does it?
Right.
It's kind of like a movie trailer, just giving us these glimpses.
Right.
But leaving us wanting more.
Exactly.
So what are they not telling us?
Yeah, what are some of the challenges they might be facing, even with this strong performance?
Yeah.
And then how does she fit into addressing those challenges?
Right. Well, based on her expertise, we could speculate a bit.
Okay, let's speculate.
All right. So could Benares Hotels, could they be looking to expand?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe to new cities or even internationally?
Mm.
I mean, think about it. Her experience in leading, high-quality teams and developing strategy,
Right.
that would be invaluable in a venture like that.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I mean, expansion would certainly align with their current growth.
It would.
But expansion is a huge undertaking, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it requires careful planning,
Yeah.
market research, significant financial investment.
Right. And that's where Miss Bolani's background as a CEO and CXO coach really comes in.
Right.
She likely has a deep understanding of the complexities involved in scaling a business
Yeah.
and building a leadership team that can execute that kind of strategy.
So her appointment could be a signal that they're not just content with their current success.
Mm-hmm.
They're actively looking for new avenues for growth.
Yeah,
And they're willing to make some bold moves to get there.
exactly. It's like they're laying the groundwork for something really ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
And her expertise in building high-performing teams,
Right.
it suggests that they're not just thinking about the financial side of expansion.
Right.
They're also really thinking about the human element.
Which a lot of companies don't do.
Yeah, they overlook that, making sure they have the right people
Right.
to lead that expansion and maintain the company culture as they grow.
That's a really important point.
Yeah, and it's really a testament to the fact that information, even in its rawest form, like a financial report,
Right.
it can reveal these fascinating narratives.
It really can.
Yeah.
And it also reinforces the importance of connecting the dots
Mm-hmm.
and questioning assumptions.
Yeah.
We started with a financial report.
Right.
And now we're talking about potential expansion strategies
We are.
and the importance of human capital.
Yeah, and we've only just scratched the surface, haven't we?
I know, right?
It's just a reminder that the business world, it's dynamic, it's full of surprises.
For sure.
What we see today could be completely different tomorrow.
Which makes it all the more exciting, right?
It does. It really does.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave our listener with a final thought.
Right.
Given everything we've discussed,
Mm-hmm.
do you think this potential expansion could it indicate a shift in Benares Hotels' target audience?
Ooh, that's a great question. And I bet that's one that investors and industry analysts are asking themselves too.
I bet so.
So if they are planning this expansion,
Right.
who are they trying to reach?
Yeah, are they going to adapt their offerings to cater to new markets?
Right, new demographics?
Yeah, exactly. Are they looking to attract a more international clientele or cater to a different segment within India?
It'll be really interesting to see how they leverage Mrs. Bolani's expertise to navigate those complexities.
It will. It really will.
I think this deep dive has uncovered some really compelling clues about the company's potential trajectory.
I agree.
It's a reminder that seemingly simple information
Yeah.
can reveal a much larger story if you know where to look.
Right. And how to interpret the data.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of exploration, isn't it?
It is.
You never know what you might discover.
Well said. Well said. So with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Benares Hotels Ltd.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us on this journey, everybody.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights.
And a newfound appreciation for the stories hidden within financial reports.
And remember, if you stumble across any intriguing company reports,
Or financial news.
don't hesitate to send them our way.
Yeah, we're always searching for our next deep dive. It's amazing, just one board appointment, and it sparks all this speculation.
Right. It really shows you how important the right people are
Mm-hmm.
to a business's success. I mean, it's not just about the numbers. It's about who's driving the strategy.
Absolutely. So for our listeners out there, what would you say is the biggest takeaway from all this, from our deep dive into Benares Hotels?
Well, I think it's the importance of paying attention even to the small details, like a new board member,
Right.
and then figuring out how does that fit into the bigger picture, the
Yeah.
company's performance, their future direction.
Connecting the dots.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw how, a financial report plus this new appointment,
Yeah.
it hinted at a potential expansion strategy,
Right.
even a potential shift in who they're targeting as customers.
Exactly. And that's a skill. I mean, anyone can learn that.
Right.
It's just about being curious, being willing to dig a little deeper,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to analyze the information and think about, okay, well, what does this really mean?
And like we saw with Benares Hotels,
Yeah.
even something like a financial report can be a gold mine of insights
Oh, yeah.
if you know where to look and how to interpret the data.
That's right. It reminds us that the business world, it's always changing. What's true today, might be updated tomorrow. So you got to stay informed, stay curious.
Well said. Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today.
Well, it's always a pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Indian businesses.
Yeah, we hope you've gained some valuable insights.
And maybe even a new appreciation for the power of information.
And as always, if you come across any interesting company reports,
Or financial news.
don't hesitate to send them our way.
Yeah, we're always on the lookout for that next deep dive.
We are.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.